Welcome back to Middle East in Depth, part of Levant TV's Press Reviews. Today we will look at the changing situation in Tripoli in northern Lebanon and also a piece in The Guardian by former Iranian President. As the tragedy of Tripoli flares up again, the Daily Star editorial team suggests that the Lebanese army must take advantage of the enormous support it is being given to end this extremist plot against Lebanon once and for all. The violence in Tripoli and the surrounding areas has been erupting again over the last few years, ever since the civil war began in Syria. But the writers say the roots of the problem were there before and have not been truly addressed, hence the recurrent nature of the fighting. The Lebanese army has repeatedly sought to implement security plans for the northern city, and while these have often worked for a time, but eventually various obstacles, whether sectarian, political or logisticals, have prevented the peace from enduring. It appears that extremist elements based in the north want to wear the army down and deplete its resources and manpower and distract it from other areas in Lebanon. Now, though, the army must take advantage of the wide support it is getting from religious and political leaders of all sects and groups and the international backing it is receiving. Former President of Iran, Abu Hassan Bani Sadr, is featured in The Guardian newspaper in a piece where he argues although ISIS is a product of the West's policy of domination, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and other Persian Gulf Arab regimes are also culprits. According to the writer, ISIS could not have emerged without support from Western powers and their regional allies. These facilitated the travel of jihadis from 80 countries into Syria, funded them and then trained and armed them. So long as these jihadis were committed crimes in Syria against Syrian and Assad's regime, Western governments turned a blind eye. After all, at the time, ISIS was doing the bidding of the same neoconservatives and liberal interventionists who had decided that the overthrow of Libya's despot Gaddafi should be followed by the overthrow of President Assad. The former Iranian president adds, although ISIS is a product of the West's policy of domination, it is also a Sunni version of Khomeinism. He says it was Ayatollah Khomeini who sanctified and glorified violence under the garb of religion, and the heinous crimes committed by his regime set precedents for ISIS. These include the beheading of opposition leaders and others, the execution of prisoners and the injured. In the mirror of ISIS, we can see the organic relation between Islamic fundamentalism and the exercise of Western power. Bani Sadr questions what then should be done. He says terrorism is a product of relations of domination. As long as such relations are not addressed, we can see no end to it. ISIS is not an internal phenomenon of Syria and Iraq, but an international one. He adds the US, Europe, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and other Persian Gulf Arab regimes are culprits in creating a monster that is now threatening their interests. The solution should thus also be sought in the collaboration of these players. That was it for today's brief analysis. For more updates, please visit us on levant.tv. You could also subscribe to Middle East in Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching and bye for now.